I'm going to put this, it's almost like something you do on the first day. This is a value scale. And in watercolors, you really want to think about your values. And in fact, values are even more important than color. You can have red trees, and if they're dark red, they look like dark trees. But if you get the values wrong, your watercolors sort of fall apart. So this is the lightest, obviously, then a light gray, then a mid-tone, we call this middle stuff mid-tones, and then a couple of darks, medium dark, and then almost black. So as we look at this picture here, it's kind of gray. It's not a really bright, colorful photograph. So I'm going to alter my values. I'm not going to make the objects as dark as they might be in the photograph. I'm free to do that. Some of I have a winter landscape out the window behind the sugar bag. I'm not going to have it wintry and white. I'm going to put some spring-like or summer tones in there, and I can do that. It's my painting. So I am going to try to play up the local colors. As that's a red, but it's a red in shadow. But I'm not going to make it as dark a red as it is in the photograph. I'm going to try to keep these local colors fairly bright, and then the stuff in the back fairly muted, pale over here, and maybe not quite as dark as the photograph in the where that door is and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I hope I'm going to do. Now, whether I can fulfill my own wishes, I don't know. But and another thing about painting still lives, you don't want to paint ticky-tacky. You don't want to paint one object and leave it, and then paint another object, then leave it. You'd like some of the objects to sort of link together. Either the shadows link one object to another, or sometimes some colors will dribble from one object to another. And that's just all part of the fun of watercolor. Okay, enough talking. I'm going to get started. I'm going to jump right, just because it kind of catches my eye. Oh, and I also want to make my shadows kind of luminous. I don't want to put just gray. I'll try to put some interesting color in the shadows. Okay, enough yakking. Okay, I'm looking at that Arm & Hammer box. I'm going to start with that. Get a little bit of my Winsor red. I'll put a touch of alizarin in there. I never really liked a color just out of the tube. I figure it's a chemist that did that somewhere, I guess, in New Jersey. So I'm just gonna put some local color in here. I don't do it. Is that Bobby in New Jersey? Did I just disparage your home state?
Both Bobby and
Marie.
Oh, Anne Marie. Okay, yeah. Teaneck, right?
Teaneck and Tenafly.
Tenafly.
Teaneck and Tenafly. All right.
Grew up in Plainfield.
Oh.
Not that far.
I guess if we didn't have those chemists in New Jersey, then we wouldn't have these nice colors to be working with. So I guess I had to take that back.
There you
go. All right. And then we got talking and painting at the same time. That's very risky. Okay, so here's a little bit more red in this little Arm & Hammer thing. Okay, and we get let's get into some orange here. I'm gonna use my what's it, the New Gamboge with the red that I already have. And where is this orange? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I like that. Orange looks pretty good. And I'm watching careful. I do want to, I'm not going to do all the lettering on all these things. I do want to try to capture the logos. So I'm doing the orange around here. Now I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint around the blue where it says baking soda. I'm going to paint around that. Okay, there we go. And this goes all the way down. And wherever I see letters, I'm just going to make a rectangle, which might be a rectangle of a different color or a white. I have a little bit more red down here. Throw some red down here. A little bit darker. Okay, so I'm having fun here. Okay, I'm gonna get that yellow color over here. And notice I haven't pre-wet the paper at all. I am just jumping right in with the dry brush. That's why I'm reaching for more water here. Keeping those two little signs on the side of the thing. They're different sizes, so that'll make a little interesting design. Now at the top of the box, it's going to be a little bit lighter red than the red I already put on here, because the light is sort of hitting it up there. Okay, there we go. That like that. Some of this is blurring. Okay, now what are we going to do? We're going to get this. The yellow. This is the yellow. The butter is almost white down here. So I'm going to be. That's oh dear! Did I just put the yellow right into the table? That's all right. Because this is where I'm trying to get my colors going into shadows. All right, and the top of the butter, no, some of that Arm & Hammer just dribbled in. That's not a problem for me. Okay.
What yellow are you using?
I'm using the Aureolin. It's my palest yellow. And now the dark side of the yellow, this is a tough color. I think making a dark yellow, I hate painting daffodils and stuff because trying to get a dark yellow is really hard mixture, but a little burnt umber. These are just rectangular, so they're not too tricky shapes. A little bit more dark in here. Now I could mix, like, if I tried to mix blue with the yellow to make it darker, I'd end up getting this, I'd get a green color, which is kind of bilious. So I'm gonna take this color and just bring it down into here. This is the reflection on the counter. So I'm just taking the color, the local color down in there. I'm not really sure how this is gonna work out. Okay. Now what are we going to do?
If you use raw sienna as your yellow, would you add burnt umber or something different to make it darker?
Yeah, the burnt umber certainly makes it darker. Darker still. Okay, so now I'm going to just, this is now drying up a little bit. I'm going to take, these things are really too white. This is not, the light is not hitting this side, so I'm going to do a little bit of ultramarine and a little bit of alizarin that's kicking around there, and I'm going to put, just going to tone that. See how I've dulled that down? I'm going to dull down some of this. And I got a little, shall I try to make that little hammer in there? Well, I know. So you got to do that after I dulling that down. I'm going to make a little stronger blue right down here where it says baking soda. So I'm going to make a little bit of blue baking without painting the names on there, baking soda. And then there's a little white down the bottom, and I'll just tone that down. I'll leave those white. I like those whites there. I'm gonna leave them. and I'll come back and do the Arm & Hammer. I got a second here. All right, I'm going to pause right here and let you guys work on the, work on a little bit of shadow down here. The Arm & Hammer box. I've got kind of a toned shadow coming down, hitting the butter. All right, I've tried to unify these. Oh, I know, got a little bit of blue up. Again, I'm trying to pick out local color. Here's a little bit of blue on the top of that butter. There's that. And then there is some red. Oh, come on. I'm not going to get this too bright red in here. But there's a little bit of red on this side, the writing, a little bit of a logo. Do we have some red up in here? And you see a little hint of red back there. Yeah, so I'm just putting in some red into that smeary yellow just to give it a little bit of a little touch of color. Okay, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna take a break right now. I suppose it's been about 9 minutes. So why don't you sort of work on getting the different tones on your box, the rectangular things, the boxes, the box of Arm & Hammer and the couple of butters. All right, take it. All right. Yeah.
Right. Clean water.
Yeah, I just switched I cleaned out my sponge. All right, I'm going to look at this. Well, let me get into the blue. I like that Morton salt thing. So I'm going to take some ultramarine blue, almost pure. We're going to add a little bit of alizarin just to take the blueness out of it. That's a nice color there. Good. And of course, as soon as you say, "Oh, I got a nice color," you realize it's not right because it's probably too pale. So I'm darkening it up a little bit. Okay, here's Morton salt. Here we go. Morton. Here we go. Boom. Okay, I got that girl there. I don't think I get everything underneath the umbrella, but here we go. Blue across here, a nice smile type shape here. Around the umbrella, the little girl, with her feet. Smile shape for the where it says Morton. Keep that parallel to the, how far does that go down here? And then, okay, we got dark under here. And then as I get over here, oh, I see one of those, that little, what do you call those panels on a?
UPC code.
UPC code, there we go.
I'll try codes for 500.
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of just pure water and soak up a little bit on that side so that I'm getting a little bit lighter blue and keeping it darker on this far side. I have a little feeling of roundness. Okay, so the other color here is this nice, to me it's a cerulean, it's a nice kind of aqua color. So I'm going to start with cerulean, ooh, touch of aureolin, and I'm going to drop this color right in there. I'm going to have some, where it says sea salt, that's a darker color. So I'm going to just go right over that. Go down here. I'm going to go, oh, I'll just paint this whole damn thing. There's a little bit of white at the bottom. I'll leave that. And over here, there's another UPC code or whatever it is, barcode. One more color on this side. Yep. I'm just dropping color in there, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of dark, the cerulean. And again, I'm going to lift out some of that color on this side with just clear water. Okay, and I got a little bit of, oh, that girl has a little bit of, do I dare put a dot of yellow up in there now?
How did
you? Yeah.
How did you make that blue again? I
used some cerulean with a tiniest bit of aureolin to make it a little bit kind of an aqua color.
Cerulean and aureolin. Okay.
Well, you really nailed that.
Okay, up at the top here, I've got a little bit of gray, that little lip there, and the same would be at the bottom. And I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's see, a little bit of tone there. Okay, I'm gonna jump into this red bag. I'm going to use my Winsor red, really lighten it up. Right at the very top, I see some sunlight hitting there. I'm going to put a little red up there. Come on, oh, here we go. Go all through here. Down there.
And that's a cadmium. Is that a cadmium red?
No, I think I did use my Winsor red, but you could use a cadmium. And then I see the red is a little darker as it comes down here. So I'm gonna, there we go. Imagine, you're supposed to watch me when I mixed it, so you'd know which colors I grabbed. There we go.
Next thing we need to do is instant.
I was absent. How'd you
Did
make
you add blue to make it darker?
Sure.
How did you make the lower half of the salt shaker?
That was with cerulean and a little bit of aureolin. Now I got this red, nice light red color down here. I'll come back with that. Oh, here's somebody coming around the corner here, up against the UPC thing. There we go. All right, now, what are we doing here? I'm going to keep this side light, keep this white. I'm going to go in with a, oh boy, what colors do I have on my palette here? This is going to be a shadow color. Ooh. Let's get a little more blue in it. So the colors that I sort of already have on my palette, I'm grabbing. Okay, here's this kind of bluish purple color for the dark side of the white bag. And, oh boy, where does that go? Up into there. And I see a bit of yellow down in here. A little bit of yellow in there. Good. And now I'm going to use there's some writing on the side of this bag. I can't do every line, but the bigger lines, I'm putting that one in there. There's another one down here I see. This seems to have a list of ingredients. I'll put that down there. Another long one. Okay, and then back up in the folds up here. I hope this is dry enough. I'm getting my dark red back. No, it's not. I need some sharp edges there, so I gotta be careful. That didn't work as well as I thought. I'll take. I'm just running some almost like a pure water down the side of that. So I'm having a little bit of blend of white into sort of a grayish tone here. Okay, and notice the red that's reflected down into the tabletop here. All right. This blue salt shaker is sort of making a bluish shadow coming up. So I've sort of bled the shadows into each other, bled the shadows. Okay, and I'll do a little bit of hint of natural. Okay. Okay.
How'd you get the shadow on the white sugar flour bag?
Yeah, I used just a little bit of the red and blue that were kicking around on my palette. I mean, I probably shouldn't be getting into these letters so much. And I'm painting them backwards. I'm starting with the T and going backwards to the L and the S, and then I'm putting a line underneath it. A couple little lines out here. Bigger smile lines down here. All right, so that reads as a salt shaker. I mean, a salt container, right?
Yeah.
A nice blue. And the little girl, it's not bright white there. So I'm going to just a little bit of a neutral tone and just tone it down so it's not bright white. I've killed it. I've left the bright white on the top and a little bit on these little UPC signs. Okay. And yeah, maybe a few darks in here too. And I'm just kind of noodling now. There's somebody on a horse, and I don't think I'm going to try to get that horse to look right, but I am going to get a few black lines in there or darks to accent that. Those logos. Okay, I'll let you guys do now. The flour bag and the Morton salt. And be judicious with any little details or signage. You know, you don't want the little things to start taking over. Okay, I'm gonna take a little pause here.
Ned,
Yep.
I have a question. It's sort of a big picture thing. In all these still lifes we've been doing, you
Yeah.
never start with the background wash. And that's because you want to discover what the individual things are going to bring out. Is that it?
Yeah, I guess I want to get to the color, and I want to see how let the colors sing, and then I can then figure out what tones I'm going to put in that background wash. I might use a little bit of red and a little bit of blue because I've got a lot of reds and blues here. I will sort of let the colors in the objects inform what my background washes are going to be.
Unlike a landscape where you know that trees are a certain. I'm sorry to.
Yeah, I know. It's a good question. I mean, I could start this thing with the darks. I mean, the background colors first, and then drop in the local color. There are no fast rules on any of this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And what was the colors you used for the red at the top of the bag?
Yeah, I used what did I use? I used some Windsor red right at the top with just water. That was the lightest. Then I added a little bit of alizarin and maybe ultramarine to get the sort of dusky color of that red, that shadow color, shadow tone. Maybe just a close up of just the color of that. for these eggs. All right, I'm going to grab a fairly large brush. I love this. I love this yellow Domino sugar bag. It's fairly bright. So I'm taking Aureolin. I got a little bit of cadmium still kicking around. I didn't clean out of my palette. Here we go. So I'm going to hit this. You know, that's where the sugar is. I sometimes will put my brush right down to the ferrule, the metal part. I put the brush, get the tip right, and then just pull it right down, rather than, you know, kind of whisk away at it like you're painting with a broom. You know, push the bristles down, swing that baby around. Okay, I got to remember I got a little piece of blue down here. I don't want to get carried away. A little chunk of blue at that corner.
I'm very slow. I mean, I could take 6 or 7 hours to do what they do in an hour, unfortunately. What? That's okay.
Ellen, we hear you yakking away.
Oh, I was talking to my husband. He asked me how things were going.
And you said everything's great. Okay, I'm going to take a little.
I said I'm very. I said I'm very slow. It could take me 6 or 7 hours to do what you guys do in an hour.
Well, and that's okay, you know. Like, oh boy.
Ditto. The same for me.
Well, we could make this a 5-hour class, but I think we'd lose some people. Okay, a darker version of yellow over here. This is the dark side of the bag. I have a little hint of it next to that.
What colors are those?
That's a dark yellow, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. No, I meant what did you put together?
I put a little raw umber into the
raw umber. Okay.
Yep. Let's see. While I'm on the Domino's sugar bag, I'm gonna do the shadow colors coming up on up this side here and into some of the creases. So I'm gonna get my ultramarine. I get kind of formulaic here. Ultramarine, a little bit of alizarin. Come on. Oh, it's too blue. There. Okay. Okay, up here, where we're down here. Now the bag has some kinks and crevices in there. I'm going to pull this right down into here. I see a little shadow line. I'm going to pull this down here. There we go. The shadow side of that Domino's bag. I'm going to come up and, oh, wait. I see a little line in here. I see a little piece up here where it's folded. I see a little line coming down here, but it kind of runs out. And this is kind of like abstract painting because you're just seeing just abstract shapes in those crinkles. I see a triangle. There we go. I see, let's see, I see a little more coming down here. I see a little arc there. I see another, this is a bag that's been folded and unfolded many, many times. Let's see, I'm going to do another little something up there. All right, I'm leaving that bag sort of the way that is. I got all right, I'm gonna move into this the chocolate chip cookie bag. The top side is lighter than the left side. So this is the lightest part. I'm gonna start with the lightest part here. Put that in. I've got some hard edges, so I don't, you've got to be careful I don't put some darks in and have them blur out. So there's my light side of that. Well, I got a little bit going across the top here. Okay, then there's certainly a little bit of red on top there, but it's the red, just get a little sunlight hitting it. So it's a pale red. So it creates the edge of the bag. There's that red. The red on this side is darker. Okay, now we get a little bit darker yellow. Aureolin, raw umber. And we'll try out here. Oh, I see a little light part of red. Okay, there's that. I'm gonna go up in here. Okay. Gonna go around that red. There's another little. Okay, here's this. Oh boy. Up into there. We'll keep that sharp edge. And there's a dark edge here. Till there. Come on, get it darker. There we go. Now get a little more light tone on top. A little bit of yellow out there. And I have, gotta be careful where that chocolate chip stuff is. I don't want to make dots that are kind of ugly, but at this edge, there's some darks. We see them, right? And then a couple chips are coming forward at me. Got one over here. And I've got Nestle's. Ooh, can I spell this upside down? N-E-S-T-L-E-S. Nestle's Mix. So they're the best. There's that. There's the edge of that. I got a little couple of darks in there. Chips or something.
Very full. What? It's extremely full. You can't.
And I've got a dark red down here.
Right.
Darker than the red that's up top.
Look at those ones.
And now I'm going to, oh boy, put a little bit of shadow coming out of here. Now I see, yep. So that Domino sugar bag makes a line straight down. And this goes along here. out. That comes out from there. Darker tone. And the blue, that blue domino, yeah, the blue Morton's has a shadow coming down. So it's sort of, there's that. A little piece of white way down here. A little highlight, baby, yep. Now I'm going to go into my dominoes. I'll give a little bit of that lettering in. What color is that? Both blues. There's a little D somewhere in here. It gets cut off. There's a dark line there. Dominoes goes up there. G. Got some blue down here. Get that in. I got a little bit of this. And then I have shadow coming down to a bag. And while I've got all this sort of stuff working together here, I only got a little bit of blue inside here. These little hints of something. And then there's a red dot in the dominoes up there. Right there. Nice little bit of red. Okay, I'm going to get into this. This is my yellow, and here's my vanilla. And I'm painting the yellow that's seeing through.
It's yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, and now this side is dark. Okay, I'm in the okay, now I want this side of the label to be lighter. Put some color in there now. We're gonna go. The top of the cap is almost pure white, so I'm not going to paint any color in there yet. I'll leave it. The edge of the bottle is very dark. This edge is also very dark. The liquid in here is dark. And there's a little liquid down here. Oh boy. Okay, there's that. That. Now I'm just doing some details. See the bag there. Okay, I'm going to pause right there. Let you get. I think I need some dark. A few more darks. Right under here, I see a good strong dark there. Comes across here and definitely cuts up into there. I see dark over on this side too. Okay, this starts to help that bag out, make it stand out from the. All right. I'm going to let you guys get going on the trio on the right side, the dominoes, the vanilla, and the chocolate chips.
How'd you get that brown for the vanilla?
Raw sienna was my basic color, and then I added a little bit of blue to make it darker, and then red to make it real dark. That's where I got the black color. But raw sienna is where I started.
Okay. A little blue, and then red. Okay.
But for the sugar, you didn't use raw sienna, you used a brighter yellow.
Somebody just stopped in the gallery. He's chatting with him for a second.
A Cerulean yellow.
Yeah.
It just did.
I'll put it in the top row.
Well, but if it was Jennifer out in Colorado, who had arm surgery, she's painting left hand. so Marie was not taking the question.
I didn't ask her. Oh, that's right. She's that's right.
Well, she wants to.
Totally.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Right next to Jennifer, that Chase.
Main is made out, they use PVC instead of cast iron. Or they replace the cast iron after a few years with PVC.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I asked myself that very question.
I don't know who that is.
Who knows? Sounds like they're whistling into a jar.
intensely every day? Yes.
All right. I am intensely going to start in on the bowl. And Thomas Eakins, the 19th century painter, said, if you want to learn how to paint an egg. It's probably the toughest assignment you can give a student or even a professional artist. Paint an egg.
Oh.
Because there's some subtle colors in there, and boy, I'll tell you, they get nasty. But I'm going to start in on this lovely mixing bowl. It has kind of an off-white color. It's a cream color, so it's not going to be as bright as the domino white or parts of the top of the domino, the Morton salt shaker. I'm going to grab a little bit of raw sienna and maybe a little bit of red. Oh, that went too crazy. Oh, okay. So I want to keep an edge.
Did you say raw sienna?
Yeah, I did some raw sienna in there. Okay, I go across here. I want to leave a white edge on the front side of it. So I'm going to leave a spot. So I want to leave that white edge. Holy smokes. The white edge, though, doesn't go all the way around. Just mostly just in the front part. And got some more color in here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm gonna paint blue into this. Oh man. Going around these eggs for now. And while the bowl is still wet, oh, yeah.
Shannon Barker.
Okay, good. Is she working there?
You know who I am?
All right, here's a dark color on the inside part of this bowl. And on the outside of the bowl, I got a light tone, a little darker tone coming across. Coming across. And got that shadow from the spoon coming down too. Now, I guess I gotta get that blue in before it.
What are you using for the blue?
I used a little bit of cerulean and the ultramarine, the only two blues I have. And I might have wanted a sharper edge, but I'm not worried about them losing it a little bit. Well, I'm losing it anyway, but. There's that. I'm gonna lighten that blue right on this area here. Just to make it look like, lighten some of that right there. Pull out some of the color. That bowl doesn't look too bad. Now this side of the bowl, oh boy, this side is darker because the shadow of the flower bag is preventing some light hitting it. Let's screw this up. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to leave that for a bit. All right, I'm going to get into this bowl down here. Again, I want a white lip on it. We're not painting things, we're painting light. Huh. So this side of this Chinese bowl is lighter. I'm scraping out some of that color. Oh boy, are we ready for the eggs? Raw sienna, burnt sienna. Ooh, let's try it. You know, I don't know if it's right until I put it on here. What's that look like? Is that the right color? It's going to be a little darker, I think.
Burnt sienna?
And raw sienna.
Raw sienna.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna paint this entire egg. Put my brush right down. Actually, I swivel it, curl it with my fingers. And now I'm going to take out the spot that is the brightest, right there. Boom. Okay, let's try it again on another egg. Now this egg is darker anyway. Yes, it is like doing the rocks. Yeah. This egg is a little bit darker.
Round eggs.
Wow. This is really pale on this side. It's almost pink. This one. Because it's nearest more light, so it's much lighter. And then we do get some darks over on this side. I want to keep that white edge of the bowl. Don't forget about that, Ned. Oh. And here's the top of this egg coming up.
Make it look so easy.
Wow. I'm holding my breath here. This is the dark side of this egg. Little dark side down in here. Definitely dark. Don't go too crazy here, Ned. Okay. And then right. Between the eggs, there's kind of a pretty dark color in there too. Okay, I got some of those, and I'm going to get a little bit more dark on this side. Okay, and now I got a little bit of that blue on the side, this lovely Chinese bowl here. Nice big blush of something right in the middle. Leaves going around the corner here. Don't get too worried about it. There's a little bit of a blue line around the bottom here. A little touch of blue in that corner here. Shadow down here. It really doesn't matter what color your shadow is as long as it's the right value. All right, and look at this. The spoon, there we go. A little bit of dark sun. All right, well, look at that shadow to be a little stronger. Okay, so there's the bowl and the eggs. And wow. And that'll leave us 6 minutes to do the background.
That shouldn't be any problem, right?
No, just get a bigger brush.
Yeah, 6 minutes. Okay.
Slow the camera down.
Yikes. That doesn't look bad. That doesn't look that bad. So it came out. That part came out. Eggs. Oops. Be left in here. Yeah, those eggs. Them eggs ain't bad. There's a backhand, right? Okay.
Now, did you leave a white section for the blue stripe on the bowl, or did you just go over the red in the big bowl there?
Yeah, I was able to leave, there's dark color there, there's a light pale there, and there's just white right on that edge.
Right. Did you leave white for the big blue stripe, or did you just go over the raw sienna?
No, I did leave white for the blue stripe, and then when I put the blue stripe in, it bled into the raw sienna.
Okay, thank you.
They're all they're easy to look at and understand when you start to engage.
Yeah, raw sienna, I put a tiny bit of red in it to give it a kind of a peachy color.
Yeah, while I was at it.
What, moving it around?
Shadow is going to rip my arm out and socket.
All right, I'm going to start a little bit on the background. Oh boy, oh boy. Where do we start with this thing? Okay. I said before I was going to keep a sort of a landscapey, a very pale thing over here. So I'm going to tone this whole area down from the edge of the windowsill over to these windows looking out the back porch. And I'm moving the paper a little bit so you can see. I'm going to start with just water because I want to float a lot of color on here. And I don't want to be brush, 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 and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get a lot of color. Now I want to keep my edges around my objects. So I got to be careful with my, I'm going to get right down to the edges of things. so my water doesn't slip out and cut in. Yeah, the snow has just started here. Okay, I'm going to go down to the edge of the counter and go right through that knob. And do I have everything done? Okay, good. All right. And Woody, you were asking about, you know, why don't I do this early? Now I see the colors I have here. So see, this is my menu. So I'm going to take a little bit of cerulean because I've used that. I'm going to take a little bit of the Winsor because I've used that.
The which?
Winsor red. And let's see how it looks. Oh, that looks too pale. Bring it back. The same red that I used in the box at the beginning. The blue that's in some of the salt shakers and all that kind of stuff. All right, there we go. Here it is. And I don't want to have it. So can you see where it's sort of pinky at some parts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's kind of bluey in other parts. So and maybe I'll grab a little bit of aureolin, the yellow. Let's throw some aureolin into here. Right back here. There we go. Throw that yellow. So I've got your red, yellow, and blue. All of them mixing, making a nice, gee, I love that.
And of course, it's springtime in the garden.
Yeah, this is a nice. So I have all these lovely, lovely tones here. And I want to, don't forget to go down around this bag. I'm gonna darken this up a little bit. Save the white of the bag and go around it. Down here. Okay, there. So there, well, that was a piece of cake, right? Oh, so I've just covered a third of the painting. Okay, now over here, I'm going to let that set up. I can't put in the darker windows yet because it's just going to be mushy. All right, I'm going to slide this over a little bit, and now I'm going to go. Okay, what's outside here? I'm going to put some color in here. Yeah, let's say it's May, June. Okay, June, and the lawn needs to be mowed, and we've got some nice. Okay, I'm putting tone in between the window mullions, but not. I'm leaving the window frame itself white, and I'll decide later whether I'm going to leave it white, the same as the domino bag here, or the top of the salt shaker. Okay, now there's that. So if this is a landscapey scene, what am I going to do? I'm going to have a little bit of, ooh, that was too much. Going to have a little bit of blue up here, like a little sky action. And then of course I'd have, oh yeah. We'll get the red shed in there, John. Good. Here comes the red. Here comes the red shed right there. Here we go. And I'm keeping it very, very pale.
Smart Alec.
I don't see a red shed.
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to put some more blue up in here. Now I'm going to get, oh, here's the lawn that needs to be mowed. A very, very light bit of aureolin. Now we got a little, there's a little tree. And as Bob Ross would say, a happy little tree.
Aureolin and a blue.
Okay, now everything out here is very, very pale. Like on a value scale, it'd be the top one or two little sections. Very, very pale. Okay, you don't want to get any darks. Nothing outside is going to be darker than even the lightest lights here. Okay, I want to pick up some of that color. Keep it really pale. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Now, how are we doing over here? Well, okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I see a little bit of a pinky color in the countertop. So I'm going to knock down this white with a little bit of this sort of coral color to go right through that shadow. Come down around here. I'm going to go over that the shadow that we had for the butter. I'm going to weave that white. I'm going to put a little coral color in there. I want to save my brightest whites for just a few areas. I'm leaving that there and that bright coral over there. I'm killing time until this background dries, quite honestly. I'm just finding stuff to paint. Okay. Okay, here is the edge of the sink. There is the, oh, you don't see it in the photograph. Well, it means I just know it. Stainless steel sink right there.
And we can't see what, well, I can't see what's doing on, what you're doing on
Yep,
acid.
yep, there we go. Sorry. And I've got this.
Are you doing the sink because you'd like a dark over there?
Yeah, exactly. Good for you. And I'm doing the sprayer on the sink because I want a little accent of dark over on this side of the picture.
I was thinking mine.
But I got to be careful. It's going to start to bleed into other things. So I got to. All right, be careful here. Be careful. There we go.
What is that?
It's a sink. It's a sprayer.
Oh.
Okay, so what's going on up here? All right. This part, I've got my door frame. Let's get a big brush.
Fearless, fearless.
Got it, right? So that's that little bit of door, little background there. I got a similar tone over here. and then I see it pretty much darker, right at the edge. It's darker. So I'm going to get a little red in there. Okay, and I'm going to this is the porch. You guys can see this is the porch windows outside porch. Good. This white looks too bright, just too bright to me. So I'm going to take, I love the sort of coral colors like that. And it conflicts with this domino. I like the domino. So I'm going to make, but I'm leaving a little white around the window frames. Okay, go right into the Morton salt. There we go. Where am I going to do this? I'm going to put it underneath there. On this side. Underneath there. Across here. Across there. Across there. So now I just have a little hints of white on the windows and not. All right, so and Carol, you mentioned my darks before. I'm going to go back and get a nice rich dark for this door handle. But I'm not painting, I'm leaving a little bit of a highlight on that door handle. Light is just hitting it. Okay, now is this high down here? Not really. Okay, a little more black over here, over on this sprayer.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who's calling?
Okay. Okay, there's this sprayer. Where did it come in? You see it? Okay, good.
That really leads you in.
So that dark, that dark and this dark, and I put a little bit of dark over these radiators, helps all the objects to jump out a little bit. I'm not real pleased with these shadow colors down here, so I'm going to oh, and I haven't done this darn thing. This will be the last of it. And this is a pretty dark color. Yep. And it's, yep. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Red. Straight along there. Could get a good good, strong color down there. A little bit of red, a little bit of blue. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Then underneath it, there's the light coral color. There's that. Good, and maybe right at the edge. I can't do the edge. There's a little lip on that counter, and I don't dare touch it right now. What else do I need to do? Probably darken this a little bit. Now it's just touching up. You know what to make the butter stick out? What are we going to do? Okay, that makes that butter stand out. I like that. The top of that. There's the Morton salt. A little reflection on there. I'm just kind of giving everything a little last look. You can always noodle away. I've left some real whites there. This feeling of light coming in through the window, hitting here, 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 and then down here. But then this is a light blush over here. Toned it down a little bit. I think I may tone the sprayer down a little bit. Too much snappy whites. Okay. I can always noodle away. I'll let you guys keep painting. Step back, look at it in the mirror. If there's some deep edges you want to tighten up, you certainly can do that. But I sort of showed you the values. Keep your values right. I may darken that one more bit. It's not dark enough. So I'm gonna go back into there. But keep your values. Just decide, what do I want light? What do I want dark? And how do I make the light stand out? Up, go across, come down, go across. Okay, down here. If I darken that up a little bit, then I do have to darken this area one more step. There we go. Yep. My radiator back here, darken it up again. A little top on the radiator. I think that'll do it. All right, I'm going to leave well enough alone right now. I've darkened that door the last time. And if you don't get it right the first time, just go back and touch it up. You'll be fine. Okay, I kind of like that little hint of light up there. All right. As in the past, I'll do if you send me your pictures, I'll put them together and we'll have a critique on Wednesday evening at 5 or afternoon, 5 o'clock. I hope this has been helpful to you. I'm just trying to keep the objects in front with lights and brightest colors and have other things in the back kind of muted.
Ned, I think one of the most important takeaways from today is when you said to paint light, not paint things. It just opened my eyes to looking differently at everything now.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
That's quite brilliant. Paint light, not paint. Good.
Yeah, and it's all about shadow patterns and, you know, shapes and.
Right. Color can be so distracting. I'm used to black and white photography, and I know that in photography, but with color, it's easy to get taken in by the color and forget about the values.
Yes. Yes. And the colors almost don't make any difference. It's the values that are really important.
Yeah. Little light bulb went on there.
Yeah. Good. No, that's Suzanne.
Ned, I asked a question. Do you keep your colors in your palette, your main colors on the side? Do you keep them in all week and never change them?
No, I know. Woody, I try to paint maybe at least every other day. But last night I did a small painting and the colors were really sticky. And I knew if I came in today and I dip into the yellow and it's just like gum, it was going to be frustrating. So I took a putty knife and the aureolin I took out, the burnt siennas gets gummy, the raw umber gets gummy, the alizarin crimson was no good. So I just scraped them right out and used a bristle brush to clean those wells and put fresh color in today. Got it.
Is that a plastic tray you use?
It is. Yep. It's a hard plastic.
And
you know, I spray. If I remember today, I'll spray the colors with a little water. Put a sponge inside the container because I've got a lid on it, and the sponge helps keep some moisture in there. But it just doesn't stay moist forever.
Do you prefer what kind of paper do you prefer? A big Arches block or a Strathmore on a pad? Any preference at all, or?
Well, I buy single sheets of watercolor paper that are 22 by 30.
Mm-hmm.
And they're about $8 a piece. And so then I trim them down to a couple of different sizes that I like to use. But I think it's more economically efficient than to buy the watercolor blocks.
I see. And where, may I ask, do you get that paper? Is it Grand Central in New York?
Jay has them down there.
Okay.
He's got them in a big rack in the back on the left. I buy them online because it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Jay is not
cheap. So Cheap Joe's is my go-to for art supplies.
So many stores are closing in New York that sold art supplies. I'm sure this pandemic didn't help.
Oh yeah.
There was a Grand Central down on Lower 3rd Avenue. Did you ever go there? They had a great paper.
Oh, yeah, New York Central Art Supply.
Yeah, I think they're out of business.
Is Pearl Paint still on Canal Street?
Gone, like 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's been gone.
But this place was incredible. They had every paper in the world. Maybe I don't think they're there anymore.
Yeah.
Blix took over after AI3 moved out.
Okay. Bill is saying Blick moved into that spot.
Yeah, I've been ordering things from Dick Blick.
Into what spot? What spot did they move into?
In,
AI used to be at like 17th between 5th and 6th, and now Blix is kind of like on the corner of 19th and 6th Avenue.
19th and 6th Avenue?
Chelsea, just think of it as Chelsea.
Yeah, I know of them.
Well, I have to sign off.
Okay, that's fine. I don't know why my phone just kind of pooped out, but
okay.
Somebody's calling me. Okay.
All right. I have another meeting.
No. Okay, Suzanne. Yep.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Thanks, Ned. It was great.
Bye.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Ned. It's Amy Butler. Thank you.
Okay, Amy.
Have a nice
Thank you. Hope to
Thank
join
you.
you on
Jennifer
Wednesday.
saying goodbye.
Okay, good. Ringing off, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Yeah, I was very, because she was so helpful to other people with this, the pins and all that kind of stuff. And she was doing, she said, well, I'm just a beginner. I'm not very good. And I go, well, everybody's a beginner.
Yeah.
But then she also said it was creating some stress for her and she just didn't want. So
I try to be a beginner at something.
You are live. You're live.
Yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
Jennifer, she said, I think I'll come back to watercolor after I've had a drawing class. She said her drawing just frustrated her.
I'll take it. She didn't study art when she was in college. Huh?
No, but she's a really.
It comes with the territory.
She's a really diligent student.
Ned, are you going to send the painting again today as well?
Yeah, I may touch it up a little bit, but I'll try to send it out to you, and then I'll send out the picture for the next week. It'll be a boats and reflections. So
I'm so that's great. That'll be good. I love this. This was beautiful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Good.
Have a nice day. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. See you later.
Okay.
It's snowing here now.
Yeah, we have snow on the cars outside the gallery right now.